Hey there, bud. Welcome to another episode of Three Toe Customs. I'm your host with the most, Three Toe Joe. If you didn't know, well, now you know. What have we got going on for you? Well, today we're going to be introducing our main project for the winter. That's going to be my custom Harley here. We're going to dub this one here Project Purple Rain, and you guys will see why if you follow along through the episodes as we get down to it. So basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be stripping this bike down right straight down to the bare frame. We're going to repaint the frame. I got a lot of internal goodies for the engine already. We'll talk about those maybe in some later episodes when we get into doing some engine work on this. But basically, not doing a rebuild, but kind of a rebuild. So pretty much what we got here, this is a custom Harley. It was built back in 2006 by a company out in Montreal, Canada called Montreal Customs. I don't think they're still in business anymore. The bike has changed its look over the years a little bit. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit there down the road here about some of the things. But for the most part, pretty good bike. So why we're tearing this all down and we're going to it. So basically I was going to do this last winter. I got so much done, but unfortunately time and money ran out and the spring came and I wanted to ride again. So I got it done the best that I could. We didn't get into the paint or anything like that. I just replaced new belt, did a new chrome primary primary cover, replaced a lot of the mirrors and all the gadgets around the bike with new chrome pieces and stuff like that. A little bit of maintenance work. But then over the summer, some new issues popped up. Mainly, most of the issues popped up last summer, so I went out to the Digby Rat Wharf Rally. Wharf Rat Rally or whatever they call it anyways, out in Digby, Nova Scotia. It's one of the larger rallies in Canada anyways, especially here on the East Coast. Basically went out with a few guys. Took us about 7 hours or so to ride there, and the problems just started persisting the further into the ride that we got. I just kept noticing some things. The first thing that started popping up was the swing arm bolts. Those were coming up loose. So I had to tighten those probably about 7 or 8 times through the trip over the weekend. That was very annoying. So what I realized the swing arm bearings are probably all seized up in there, and that was what's causing the issue. So, just different things. And then all of a sudden my rear end started banging, and then I noticed my shocks were leaking oil. So the rear shocks are toast. Those need to get rebuilt. The front shocks, those have been banging for a while, so I've kind of known that those are going to be needed some attention. So basically, a lot of the suspension needs a lot of attention on this. So another thing that I noticed is I ran out of gas. We were leaving the cabin, we were going back towards the rally. It was about a 20-25 minute ride. I'm like, no, we're good to get back to town. I got tons of gas. I got, a little over a quarter of a tank. It wasn't more than about 2 minutes into the ride in, my bike started spitting and a sputtering, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Basically ran out of gas, had to knock on somebody's door. Thankfully, they were great people. They had a jug gas. They gave us some gas, and we were on our way again. But what I noticed and I'll show you that down the road here in further videos when we get into it, the petcock on the gas tank, they have it about halfway up the gas tank. So about a quarter of the tank of fuel here ain't getting to the petcock. So I'm actually missing out on quite a bit of fuel when I'm out on my trips. So that there's definitely going to need some attention. I already got an idea on how I'm going to do that. Then what else popped up? The exhaust system came loose. The brackets holding it on broke, and I had to jimmy rig those up with some metal straps. Pretty sure there was some other stuff. I lost my little knob for my cruise control because I was turning it the wrong way. That flew off on the highway. And then Sunday morning, bad luck, but kind of good luck in a sense too, because it was piss pouring rain. The weather was crap. So we were riding out to the Tim Hortons to go meet up to get some breakfast before we were heading back to New Brunswick. Another probably grueling 6-7 hour ride in the piss pouring rain. And all of a sudden my bike started making this clicking, clacking noise, like really bad clacking, and it was coming from the bottom end. And that was kind of nerve-wracking. So pretty much just stayed there at the Tim's, called my neighbor. Thankfully, they didn't mind making the big drive out there that day. Well, they probably minded. It cost me a mint in gas. But, very grateful that they came out because it was a long drive. Basically got home, it was after midnight that night. finally. But yeah, no, the bottom end was just a clack and it was making a horrible sound. And I was thinking, oh my God, man, the bottom end's pretty much gone in it. So if you can see behind me, the engine's kind of already torn apart. So yeah, basically I kind of knew that I was going to be replacing some internal engine parts in this anyways, and it's kind of getting close enough to fall to where I could say, you know what, I'm going to park it, I'm going to start tearing it down, find this noise, right? So yeah, I mean, I got right down, to the bottom end, and then she's just a clacking, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Joey, I was like, open up your primary, man. And then opened up the primary, and sure enough, the compensator nut had backed off in the primary. And yeah, that was all my clacking and knocking. So thankfully, yeah, nothing too major. Pretty much at this point, I could probably put the bike back together and just need some gaskets, and I could have it up and running again. But I figured since I got it torn down this far, you know what? I got a 2021 Indian Chieftain now. That's going to be my daily rider. Very nice bike. So this here, like, is turning into my main project, my main show bike. I want to take it down to every nut and bolt. I want to go over this bike front to back, top to bottom, try to clean up the engine casings as good as I can. Basically turn this into a show bike, more or less. That'll still be able to ride. But, I want this more or less to be my show bike, a good running show bike nonetheless. And like I said, we're going to be doing some stuff internally to the engine. I want to cam it. I got some new lifters and push rods and all that good stuff all ready for the engine. So it's just basically a matter right now of just finishing tearing this all down to bare frame, and then start getting the frame ready for paint, everything like that, because that's going to be the main focus, just getting everything repainted like it's new again, new paint job. I'm going to do everything custom myself in-house here. We're going to be building a nice little paint booth here in the corner of my shop to do all my painting and things like that. But yeah, I mean, hey, if this interested you, I mean, follow along. We're going to start tearing this down here and get some more stuff off of it today. And don't really know, I don't really have a time frame on this project, so the whole overall process might take a while, but I'll get there, probably. We'll see. Like I said, for now, we're just going to start tearing this all down, getting into her, getting her down to bare frame, getting it ready for paint, and we'll keep you updated as we progress along here. But yeah, if you want to stick around for a little bit, we'll start tearing some of this down here. Well, I guess we'll start here at the easy stuff, and we'll just get this tank off and out of the way. The wiring harness so we can unhook everything from the front end. Those forks off. Whatever brand LED light strips those were, top notch, sticky. Up there in the last brand they bought. Go. Okay, so the last time I worked on this bike, I did everything from the back front, so this time I'm going from the front back. So we'll get our front wheel off here. Just kind of get that easy stuff here. Loosey Joey. Quick, easy stuff to pull off the bike. Alright, checked up. This puppy out. Alright, so quick little update on where we're at here. So yeah, pretty much just got the front wheel off in the front, got some things disconnected, and then got the rear wheel, rear swing arm off, pretty much got everything out of there. And over on this side here, I think I just got to disconnect the starter, and then I can get the inner primary cover off, disconnect the shifting, and be able to get the engine and transmission out of there. So yeah, pretty much once we got that done, then I'll pull the front end off. So I'll probably pull the front end off before the engine because I don't want it to be front heavy tip over, I guess. But no, pretty much getting there. So yeah, just gonna pull off the starter here and get the inner primary off and start going at her here. Looks like we can pretty much free up most of the wiring harness now anyways. So yeah, here we go. Let's get her done. Yeah. Hard. Hard. Okay, so I think I'm going to pull the front end off here. Not even 100% sure what goes in. I'm pulling the front end off here, but we're going to find out. And not in there very tight. Surprise. So, there's a lot of clunking at the front end of this thing. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Looks like that is how that works. Just like magic. Of course, drop that on the ground, get a bunch of dirt in it. Probably be replacing those anyways. Alright, so I guess from here, we just lift and separate. Voila. Front end removed. Nice. Not a whole lot left. Just gonna cut that stupid zip tie. Free up the clutch cable. Transmission engine shocks. A few little trinkets. We're gonna have a bare frame here real soon. I think we got our transmission free. There we go. Nice, easy. There, if I've done everything correctly. I don't think there's anything else holding it in. Should be able to remove this engine. Crankcase anyways. Oh. Nice. Ta-da. All right, so there you go. Pretty much got her down the bare frame here. Just a couple little things left. Take the shocks off and rear brake and pegs and stuff like that. But other than that, she's pretty much stripped down. So still trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to go with the frame. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint it black again or if I'm going to color match the frame to the tank and the fenders and stuff like that. What I'm going to do. Not 100% sure. I kind of really like the look of the black frame with all the exterior pieces, but at the same time, it does look a little classier when the frame matches up. But I don't know. I'm going to think about it and I'm going to figure it out from there. Actually, what I'm kind of almost thinking is dismantling everything on the engine and painting all the engine casings black except for the chrome pieces. Leave the chrome, but everything else paint it black. I don't know. See how that looks in my head anyways. And we'll do some research on that here. But no, for now, I mean, I'm just going to continue stripping down the rest of this frame. Just got a few little things left to take off. Nothing too important there. And then we'll have to start calculating our next steps here, which will probably be getting this frame stripped down and getting ready for paint either way. But also the engine, we're going to be taking a look closely into the engine. We're going to be building that back up here. So we'll probably talk about that a little bit in the next updated video. But yeah, for now, I still got me some work to do. So y'all ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. So we'll catch you on the flip side.